Hey, what's happening, everybody? Jay Shockblast here, and I am so mad right now. I just made a 50-minute commentary video for part 2 of our series and was not recording my voice at all the entire time. So I'm doing it again because I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. But man, I'm a little mad at myself. The video ran 50 minutes, so maybe I need to talk a little bit less this time, but we're going to be talking about Deadpool, and I think I spent 10 minutes talking about Deadpool. There's my cuckoo clock, so long story. Anyway, thank you guys so much again for watching the first video. The comments already, just overnight, were really fantastic. I wanted to do this all in one video, but obviously it would have went way too long. So I'm going to do it in a 4-part series, and I think you guys are really going to like it. I really enjoy doing this and talking about all these different great characters. I was falling asleep. It'd been a long day. I thought I was going to be pretty wired because, the Red Sox had just won Game 4 of the World Series, and I thought I was going to be pretty amped up, but I crashed pretty fast. So I started talking goofy at the end, and I kept catching myself, I think I started talking about Black Panther being a politician out of nowhere, and, I knew it was time, so let's go ahead and just, because the last trial run, I guess, the test practice run was 50 something minutes, so let's try to not do that this time. So I'm just going to start with Groot, even though I ended with him in the first version of the video. And since I have Star-Lord right there, Groot's obviously a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy. He is a big character and a Hulk-style character. He is a quest giver, so you have to unlock him after doing like 3 quests for him. And his only line in the game is, "I am Groot," which is what it should be, because that's all he says in the comics. So Groot is going to be in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I think I heard something like he's being played by Vin Diesel. I don't know if that's just one of those internet, fantasy rumors or what, but I don't really see the point in having Vin Diesel play Groot because, number one, he's going to be all CGI, and number two, he has one line, "I am Groot." Why are you going to pay Vin Diesel for that? Unless they're doing it as a joke, which if they are, more power to them. That's kind of actually cool. Like just a low, budget. They pay him a little bit of money to just say, hey, Vin Diesel was Groot, and he's really barely in it and just has that one line. So, in any event, Groot's a cool character. It would have been cool if he, when he died, if he broke up into a bunch of splinters, but, I guess they weren't going to really invest that kind of time into, a character you're probably not going to play as much unless you're a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan. But he's there. He's pretty cool. Let's move on to Daredevil. We're going to go up to the D's. And Daredevil, man, he's an acrobat. I love the animation where he kind of jumps rope with his, kind of nunchucks. He's got his staff. Animations are cool. He can throw it. It's more of a baton than a staff, I guess. So that's cool. He's got, obviously, the spider sense type power where he can sense things. I'm not necessarily a big Daredevil fan when it comes to the comic books. I've definitely tried to, read some Daredevil books, but, it just doesn't hold my interest enough. But I do appreciate him as a character. And, it's Ben Affleck, How do you not like Ben Affleck? Good Boston boy. So, there we go. There's Daredevil. And, yeah, I actually like Daredevil a lot. I use him in some acrobatic situations, but I kind of go to Black Widow the most, like I said in the last video, because she also has the invisibility. Alright, so here's where I'm going to try not to talk for 10 minutes. We've got Deadpool. And Deadpool, like most of you, is probably my favorite character in comics. I love Deadpool. I've just become enamored with him. I have mini bust of Deadpool. I've got like tons of Deadpool figures. Got lots of Deadpool comics. I've got Deadpool #1 on my wall. I also have Uncanny Avengers #1 with Deadpool on the cover saying he should be an Avenger. So yeah, I'm a big Deadpool fan. They did a fantastic job with Deadpool in this game. The only complaint that I have, and that I know a lot of you have, is that it takes so long to actually get him in the game. So, in order to unlock Deadpool, you have to get 200 yellow bricks. So, I have 221, and you have to get all 11 Deadpool bricks. So, that's a lot of work. There are 11 hub missions that you can find throughout the map. This is the one where you get Doctor Strange. This is the one where you get the Blob. They're not long missions, but, they're time-consuming. And the biggest problem with them is just the fact that, when you do have them, when you are on those missions, I don't know. Oh, in order to get the missions, I should say, you have to get, like, a certain amount of the gold bricks. So, there's 25, 50, 100, or 75, 100, so on and so forth. So you eventually have to get, in order to do the last one, which is Brotenheim, you have to get 200 gold bricks. So, there's a lot of work you have to do. My best advice for you, if you're trying to get Deadpool, do the Stan Lee in Peril missions. Alright, first of all, get all the gold studs in the 15 story missions, and do all this 50 Stan Lee in Peril missions. They're super fast. What I actually did is I went back into free roam on the 15 story missions, and I literally just blew by everything until I got to where Stan Lee in Peril was. You might have to look it up on the internet. I happen to have the strategy guide, so it told me exactly where he was. So I just flew right to where he was, grabbed him, and that counts as a gold brick. You could probably, if you dedicate maybe an hour after you've beaten the game, you could probably do all 50 Stan Lee in Peril missions. That's 50 gold bricks out of the way, and you get Stan Lee, which is the best character in the game, believe it or not. Most powerful, I should say. Deadpool, there is some missed opportunity with him. First of all, he does shoot, but you have to hold down X or square to do that. When you press B, it does nothing. And I really feel like if you press B, he should have been able to shoot. Kind of like some other characters. Off the top of my head, I can't think of who it was, but there's a character that's going to be in this video that does do that. That has an attack with his X and a shoot with his B, or square and circle for you PlayStation people. I hope you appreciate that. I don't play my PlayStation 3 very much, but I actually took out my PlayStation 3 remote just so I could remember what the buttons were on it. He has healing regeneration factor, so like Wolverine, he can't die, he just regenerates, which I guess is kind of cool. It's very appropriate since they both have the same healing factor. Animations on him are fantastic. You get him too late in the game to really need to use him as an acrobat. So, there's a missed opportunity there. I think what the complaint is for a lot of people is he's just such a popular character. And, obviously that's part of why you get him so late in the game, because it's such a reward once you finally get him. But I just feel like so much of the game is over, and you don't get to play as him enough. With that said, TT Games clearly recognized he's an important character, which is why he gives you missions, why the red bricks, which are a staple in all the Lego games, the red bricks are Deadpool bricks in this game. He has lots of video stuff for all that, and he is in every level of this game at some point. Like when the Bifrosty reception round, when you're jumping through the Bifrost, he's actually there with you. In the X Mansion, level 8, chapter 8, he's actually sitting up in a balcony in the X Mansion. He's in an elevator at Stark Tower. So, he has all these little cameos throughout the game, And both him and Stan Lee referenced that a bunch of times. So, like, it's really cute what they did, and I appreciate that. There's a lot of thought that went into it. It's just, I feel like a lot of people really wish that, you know, you could use him a little bit sooner in the game. What I'm also a little sad about is I thought he was supposed to be on the cover of the game, and he's not, but we do have Thing, so I guess, you know, I didn't really want Thing. He is on the back panel, but I really felt like he was a character they should have had on the front cover of the game. Yeah, what else can I say, man? I wish I could show you his animations and because I'm not editing this video, I'm just kind of like doing it all in one shot. His animations when he attacks people are really awesome. I I tried going over to the raft to fight some people, but he was pretty much insta-killing them. And he's not going to do it on Star-Lord, I don't believe. Let's see if I can get him to do it. Yeah. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't do their animations when you attack your other character, partially because for some reason they just miss. He has two really awesome animations, one of which he takes that little Deadpool logo and he'll actually wrap it around the character so it's like they're hogtied, and then he just jumps up and okay, come on. Jumps up and... Seriously? Jumps up and slashes him with his sword. There's another one where he'll, like, kick the character and jump up in the air and pull out his two guns. Kind of like that classic Deadpool picture where he's kind of in the air, his back arched, and he's shooting down at you. So, you know, again, attention to detail with TT Games. I really feel like they did a great job with Deadpool. Again, biggest complaint for me and a lot of you, it just takes so much and so long to get them. So there we go. I didn't spend 10 minutes on Deadpool this time. Although I probably could have kept talking because I love Deadpool. So the Destroyer, obviously from Thor. He's got a kind of generic circular icon when he shoots fire. There are a few characters that have this same circle. I really appreciate and like the fact that, you know, TT did give a lot of characters kind of their own little icon when they're targeting. He shoots flames out of his face, which is what the Destroyer does, so that's pretty cool. He does not fly. A lot of people were wondering why they made him a minifig and not like one of the bigger ones, and that's probably because, you know, the Destroyer is a little kind of slender. Whereas a lot of the bigger, bulkier characters are kind of wider frames, so he actually makes sense as a minifig instead of one of the big characters. A lot of the big characters are just Hulk clones anyway, so he's got the fire attack, so you can use him there. I really didn't use him that much in the game. Doctor Doom. Obviously one of the quintessential bad guys in all Marvel Comics. He's got electrical powers, and I like the fact that they did something a little bit different with him, as opposed to some of the other electric, you know, actual animations. He's got his own little circle logo there. One opportunity they did miss is that he doesn't float, and I feel like he would have looked pretty cool if he floated, kind of like Magneto does. But, you know, whatever. He punches, and he does shoot with circle and B. He does shoot, so you know, Doctor Doom is a very central character in this game. He's one of the main bad guys of the game, and I keep getting hit by cars. I don't know why I'm standing in the middle of Times Square, or wherever. I'm not in Times Square, but I think it was this Columbus Circle, which is kind of funny for reasons I won't get into. Yeah, but he's a, you know, obviously one of the main bad guys in the game, so cool character. Him and Iron Man are the two characters that you start out as every single time you start the game. So there's that. Dr. Octopus, and not a character I'm a huge fan of per se, and don't even get me started on Superior Spider-Man. I'll save that for when I talk about Superior Spider-Man. They did a great job with him, though. I really like his animations. I mean, this is kind of annoying, but like at the same time, it's kind of cool. When he's fighting, the way the tentacles work is really cool. So that's awesome. It would have been cool if they made a way for him to like run up walls or something. He does have his own little animation like this, as I keep getting run over by cars. Yeah, so this isn't going to... I need to get the hell out of here. I need a character that flies, though, for that. So, there are two versions of Dr. Octopus. Obviously, when I used him, I used this nice classic version. He also has the Ultimate version. So, I'm not sure if this is Ultimate Comics, like if this is Spider-Man 2099, or if this is from the Ultimate Spider-Man comic book. So, obviously he does all the same stuff. Not Ultimate Spider-Man comic book, the cartoon. You guys will let me know, like you did for Beetle. Shout-outs to whoever told me that Beetle was a character in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. I don't watch the cartoon because of Sam Alexander, and I'll get into that when I talk about Nova later. So, that's Doc Ock Ultimate. Doctor Strange, now finally a character that flies, and I jumped the gun there. That's my iPad getting a text message. So Doctor Strange is one of my favorite characters in the game. Not necessarily one of my favorite comic book characters, but I love the fact that he's got this star animation whenever he shoots the power cosmic. You know, that's really cool. I wish he had his own little icon there, but I really don't know what they would use. I think they could have gotten a little bit more creative, but, you know, whatever. He's got the generic circle. He also flies, and he's got the stars coming when he flies. For that reason alone, I used him a lot in the game, simply because, you know, he was fun. It was fun to, you know, see that. You know, it was just a really cool visual. He has the power cosmic, so he can rearrange stuff with that. He also does go invisible, which I didn't use very often, but it's still pretty cool. So that's Doctor Strange. A lot of people were really excited to see him. So, you know, there he is, and he's one of those guys that you have to get as you go through the hub missions. He goes down into his meditation when he's bored. Next up, we have a Doombot. This is probably the second time I've used him, only because the first time I used him was in the first video that I tried to make. You know, he's your typical filler character, just filler generic character. Then you have your Doombot V series, which is like a bigger version. He does all the Hulky type stuff. I don't think anybody's going to cry if I go on. To Dormammu. Dormammu. Try saying that like a million times fast. So yeah, there he is. You obviously get him with Doctor Strange in his mission. A lot of people were excited to see him. And, you know, it's not hard to figure out why. He's a very dark, awesome-looking character. Obviously, you know, with the head, kind of looks a little bit like Daredevil. Not Daredevil, Ghost Rider. So he's got his punch attacks, and he also shoots skulls. And he's got that kind of like fire little logo there. So, definitely a really cool character. Does not fly or anything like that. Just does a double jump. So that's cool. I think a lot of people will enjoy playing as him just because he's visually appealing. Drax the Destroyer. Very big fan of Drax. You know, member of the Guardians of the Galaxy. He has a generic circle. He throws his size kind of like Elektra. and he's a badass. He is Drax the Destroyer. Eventually his Sai will come back. I don't know if it got stuck. So he is Drax the Destroyer because he was made to destroy Thanos. He is the Thanos killer, which is ironic because Thanos' daughter is a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I followed him a lot during the Thanos Imperative. I don't know where his other side... Oh, there it is. I followed him during the Thanos Imperative and some of the Nova stuff. I'm a huge fan of Nova, and you really grew to appreciate and like Drax. The way he kind of like worked with Cammy during the series. If you're reading Avengers Academy, you know all about Cammy. So yeah, Drax is a really cool character. He's being played by Dave Bautista, the former WWE champion in Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So there he is. Electro. So I like Electro the way he looks here, the classic Electro look. Was not a character I thought I would use too much. But you do need electric characters, and so I actually did use him quite a bit when it came to electrical stuff. Obviously, he shoots the electrical bolts. He does the electrical, shooting from the hands. One thing I was not expecting with him, and I don't know if they did this just to match him with Green Goblin, he flies. I don't ever remember him having like a little kind of chariot thing like this. Maybe he did. I'm not really like, I don't read a lot of Spider-Man stuff. Like, I'm not really a huge Spider-Man fan. But I guess maybe I didn't realize that he had this. So I actually did use him a little bit during the game simply because he can fly. And when you have to deal with this huge map, it's obviously, pretty good to have characters that can fly. I know you can fast travel, but it's kind of the point. There is also an Ultimate Electro, and obviously they put him in the game because Jamie Foxx is going to be playing Electro in the new Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I think this is the way he looks in the Ultimate Spider-Man as well. I'm not a fan of this look. I really wish they could do something with the classic look in the movie. But what can you do? So, that is Electro. I think I talked way more about him before, but, you get the point here. Elektra. Electro to Elektra. She's an acrobat. Obviously, she's got the two sides, a lot like, Drax does. Superhero. And she throws them. I think she's considered a bad guy in the game, which I know she's always been kind of like on the fence and kind of going back and forth. Right now, she's part of the Thunderbolts, so I'm enjoying that book with Red Hulk and Punisher, Deadpool, Flash Thompson, Venom, and I feel like there's one other person that I'm missing, but the Thunderbolts book is really good. They've all got that red theme going on. So she's cool. Again, I use Black Widow the most for my acrobat stuff because she goes invisible. All Elektra does is put her size away when you press the B or circle button. Emma Frost, very popular Marvel character, and for good reason. I think there's some missed opportunity here. I think a lot of people in my Emma Frost video have already picked up on it. She does have her diamond form, which is really cool, but she has no telekinesis. Which, I feel like if they had you do like the Y or triangle button to transform her to diamond form, kind of like, Peter Parker or Spider-Man turns into Peter Parker and Hulk turns into Bruce Banner. I feel like that would have been better. And then you give her, telekinesis. That would have made a lot of sense, but I don't know how they missed that. She does punch people. She doesn't shoot anything. And she looks cute. So, that's Emma Frost. So, I know people were a little disappointed about that. I don't blame you. I think it makes a lot of sense. Again, I think it was just a missed opportunity. Frost Giant, I don't know why he has that helmet, because he doesn't have it in here. Your typical minion type, he has an an ice axe, if I can get my English straight. And he yells and screams. You're probably not going to use him. I didn't either. Galactus. Let me tell you a little bit about Galactus. I did not anticipate him being probably my go-to character in this game, especially with Star-Lord and Nova in it, and of course Deadpool. But this is probably the character I use the most in this game, and there's a lot of reasons for it. Number one, that counts as, this is convenient, that counts as a fire shooting, so you can break up gold bricks and stuff like that with him, which is convenient. You know, whenever you're free roaming, you want to have a guy that does that. He also, you know, shoots stuff. He also does the power cosmic, which is convenient because, you know, there's going to be various points where you need a character that does the power cosmic, and he does it. And last but certainly not least, he flies. So having characters that fly is always convenient, even though the flight mechanics are not that great. So once you get into this mode, it's actually not that hard to fly. It's just getting it into that mode, and like having him you know, easy enough to steer is just a pain in the butt. So there's Galactus again, a character I used quite frequently. Let's go over to Stark Tower here. So there he is, Galactus. It's pretty crazy that I feel like I've already learned the map. Here's another really fun character, Gambit. You get him by doing missions for him. He hands you 3 missions, and then you unlock him. Gambit's really cool. He's got the staff. So his staff is infused with his energy. So you hit a character once, kind of like that, and they get infused with his energy projectile. Hit him. There we go. And then he just kind of blows up on his own. This is actually where you unlock the Hulkbuster armor. You have to do this like speed mission. So if you want to do it, Gambit I definitely recommend. So there you go. You end up, he shoots, he can either, you know, do that, you throw 1 card, or he can throw 3 cards. So this is kind of like what I was talking about with Deadpool. With Deadpool, you know, you hold down the X or square button, and he, you know, shoots, but when you do B, he does nothing. Well, with Gambit, you know, he throws 3 cards. I didn't use Gambit as much as I probably should have. He's actually a fun character. I don't know that he's considered an acrobat, but you might be able to use him in those situations. You know, really popular character, and a really fun character, and you should probably play as him a little bit. Gamora is a warrior, part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So it might seem kind of strange that she would be in this game, but obviously there is a Guardians of the Galaxy movie coming out to think of. I don't know who's playing her off the top of my head. She is the daughter of Thanos, and she's got a really cool animation there, and I wish that all the characters, when they're fighting each other, could get into their animations. It would have been pretty convenient for Deadpool. She doesn't really do a whole lot else. She does throw her sword, if I can find something to throw it at, but I think I've destroyed everything here. I just like the view. So, there we go. Yeah, so she throws her sword. But I didn't really use her that much. Mostly because I really didn't... Like, there's so many characters in the game, they all do different things. Hers is kind of boring, so unless you're a huge Guardians fan, you're probably not going to use her too much. Alright, Ghost Rider. So, everybody was pretty excited about Ghost Rider, as they should be. And we're going to fly down and get him his motorcycle. Shout outs and props to whoever recommended I do the video with him and his motorcycle, because that video is badass. Very, very good call. I don't know why. I'm almost embarrassed to admit it, but I probably wouldn't have done it on my own. Ghost Rider has some race missions that you do, and that's how you unlock him, and of course how you unlock his motorcycle. You have to race him for it and for himself. And this is the best vehicle in the game, the Ghost Rider's motorcycle. It just, you know, totally, it's fast. When you crash into stuff, it like goes right through it. And I do lots of crashing because I'm just absolutely terrible at, you know, driving in any game. This is literally my go-to vehicle whenever you need to do a race. Like, the faster you can get Ghost Rider's motorcycle, the better. So that when you have to do a race, you can just, like, win every race. Except for, you know, the races where you're required to, you know, be in a golf cart or a go-kart or something like that. You know, it's a lot of fun to cruise with Ghost Rider. He's just a really, you know, awesome. They did a great job with this motorcycle. It's way better than Deadpool's scooter, which is really slow. So, as far as Ghost Rider, the character, like, I mean, obviously you don't need to use him to get his motorcycle. I've got videos where I'm driving his motorcycle with Thor, which is actually kind of fitting if you think about it. And somebody else, I don't know. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but that's Ghost Rider. Obviously, he's got his whips. Missed opportunity with the whips, chain whips. You have to be really close to the character to really hurt him. I feel like if you're going to have whips, kind of like Whiplash is the same thing, as you'll see. I feel like if you're going to do this whip motion, you know, it should have a little bit more range, although it does when you're fighting vehicles. And he also shoots skulls. Kind of like Dormammu. And he's got that fire emblem. Oh, he shoots fire too. Out of his mouth, he fucking breathes fire. Sorry to swear. So yeah, Ghost Rider is a really awesome character, and I think you'll use him a lot. I want to not get hit by a car. When you kind of let him sit here dormant, he does this like laugh and dance with the hat. So, Green Goblin. I like Green Goblin. I think you know, he's one of those classic characters. His pumpkin does not throw very far, even though you can lock onto stuff. And of course, right on cue, he throws it far. Alright, maybe I'm just crazy. But, yeah, there you go. So, a lot of times he doesn't throw it that far. I don't know what it's considered. It's obviously not gold. Let's see if it does anything to silver. Yeah, alright. So, it destroys silver studs and silver bricks. He doesn't throw it very far, so he does have his chariot, so he is a flying character, and obviously it looks awesome when he flies at you like that. I use Green Goblin quite a bit for that reason, just because I like flying characters and he looks really awesome when he does fly. So it's just convenient. There is a second version of Green Goblin. It's the Ultimate Green Goblin. And by Ultimate, he's obviously a Hulk-style figure. He does this fist bump together. I don't know if it's Ultimate Comics. Like, I feel like in Spider-Man 2099, he was this big, like, character. He might be like this in the Ultimate Spider-Man 2, which doesn't really make sense. The classic Green Goblin is just such a classic character. I can't imagine, you know, them not, you know, leaving him that way. A lot of people were excited for this. I mean, I really didn't use him. I think he looks kind of cheesy, but that's me. Magneto, obviously essential character in the game. When you let him kind of sit there for a minute, he juggles. drink break. I was getting a little dry there. Obviously, you're going to use him a lot because he has magnetic powers. There aren't really many characters that do. Off the top of my head, just him and Polaris. I love the animation for when he kind of hovers. That is perfect and it's awesome. Magneto is obviously one of the kind of like the holy triumvirate of villains in this game between him, Doctor Doom, and Loki. I think they're like the three, go-to villainous characters in Marvel Comics. The irony is that right now I believe he's a good guy as a member of the X-Men. So there's always that. So that's Magneto. Next up is Loki. No teleportation for really any character in this game. He does shoot ice, so he's an ice character. He's got that cool little design for when he shoots it. One of the cool things, I use Iceman the most, mostly because in order to use Loki's ice power, he has to pull out the Cosmic Cube. One thing to notice is his face and hands do turn blue, because, he is a frost giant. So that's kind of cool. His staff is pretty cool. I feel like they got a lot right with his staff. And the way he kind of uses it. It kind of, bounces around. I'm so stoked for the new Thor movie. I'm going to make my girlfriend go see it. And she's not really a huge fan of comics. She hasn't seen Thor yet. My birthday is on Halloween. And I'm totally making her watch it with me on my birthday. So, Statue of Liberty is in this game. And ironically, there she is in the background. She's obviously in the story mode. I'm not going to really ruin that for you. She winks. Moving on. Because I'm actually, there's other characters that I feel like could have been in the game that aren't, and the Statue of Liberty is. So, whatever. Leader. I don't know that he's really a popular character anymore. But, he's definitely a classic kind of character. All he does is shoot the gun and put it away. And he double jumps. So, I don't really think I used him much at all in the game. But he's here. I'm trying to breeze through a couple of these characters because the video is getting long. Laufey, obviously, from Thor, the first movie, that I'm going to make my girlfriend watch with me. I want to emphasize that again. I don't know if she's going to make it to 38 minutes into this video to hear that, but I tell her every chance I get. I don't know what I'm going to do once we finally watch Thor because, whenever we're talking, I'll be like, hey, let's watch Thor. And it's kind of like an inside joke at this point. And she's, whatever. It's funny to me. So, and she'll appreciate it if I tell her that I talked about it in the video. So he shoots ice. You just get him way too late in the game to really even need to use it. So anytime you need ice, you're probably going to use Iceman. You have to get 200 gold bricks to do the Brotenheim mission. So yeah, he's pretty far in the game. Curse, speaking of Thor the Dark World, I believe is going to be in Thor the Dark World. And again, speaking of Thor, if you are not reading Thor God of Thunder, you just punch yourself and go buy it. One of the best comic books running right now. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a big Thor fan. It's such a great book. Very, very dark and cryptic and just really shows you a different side of Thor. I'm not really a big fan of the whole time traveling thing for the most part, but it works so perfect in the in God of Thunder. He does the ground slash. You can't do the fastball special with him, which is kind of... I feel like if any character does this, they should be able to do the fastball special. Even Thing doesn't do it, that I've been able to see yet. But I think it's just something they save for a Wolverine and Colossus combination. I don't know a lot about Curse, I'm not going to lie. As big a Thor fan as I am, I don't remember seeing him in the books anytime recently. So I can't really speak too much on him. But I have a feeling we're going to know more about him when the movie comes around. Craven the Hunter, I don't know what he shoots at. He does have his own, like, unique circle, but he doesn't lock on to anything, so, yeah. Oh. Yeah. He won't lock on to anything. He does have the staff, so he does a lot of the staff motions, kind of like a lot of other characters that have it. Excuse me. I don't know if he's considered an acrobat, but he does move pretty quickly. And he's got that cool, like, spear motion. You get him in Central Park over where the lizard's lair is. Yeah. Kingpin's henchman. There he is. He shoots a gun. Who cares? Kingpin himself, on the other hand, is awesome. He's a giant character, obviously. And I love it what he does when he gets bored here. Stop it. Alright, that's not the one I was looking for. Where is it? He dances. And it's kind of cute. He's looking. He's looking. Dance! That's right. Nobody's watching. You can dance. And then when he's done dancing, he gets this, like, mean, grimacing look. Love it. He shoots out of his staff, which is awesome. Not a whole lot of the big characters shoot stuff. So that's kind of cool. He does have a generic purple thing when he shoots. So, whatever. He does not have a B move or a circle move. So, but he does pick up cars and throw them. What he does do, what I would have liked to have seen him do with the B, like for kind of like that, like ground smashing move, is when you jump up and press X or square. He does have that kind of staff move. It would have been cool if he did like just something similar to that without jumping in the air if you just press B, but he doesn't. Another huge character is Juggernaut. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. I just remember him chasing Ellen Page in X-Men, what was it, 3? She was Kitty Pryde in that movie. And actually saying the line in the movie, which was awesome. Obviously a big character. I love the way his animation is, where he does the headbutt and the head swing. Very unique to just him. Also, if you hit B, he goes into his charge mode. Sort of. Or if you just start running, he goes into his charge mode, which is awesome because he kind of, sort of, you know, breaks through stuff as he runs. Runs with his head down so as to do such. It would be awesome if he could just totally smash through cars, but he doesn't. So, you know, I use Juggernaut every once in a while just to switch things up so I'm not using Hulk all the time. But otherwise, you know, he's just a big character. J. Jonah Jameson, I forgot was even in the game. He throws newspapers, which is kind of cool. And he rages, which is, this is what I look like when I have to do some of these driving and flying mini missions. Ready? Rage. Without the gray hair and mustache. So yeah, that's J. Jonah Jameson. Here's a big fan favorite, Hulkbuster, Iron Man. Looks dope. He pounds stuff and he shoots. He locks on. He does basically everything Iron Man does, all while being a giant character. And you can, like, throw cars.
Chip buddy.
So he doesn't fly, but he does hover, which is, you know, pretty cool. Looks cool. Makes sense that he doesn't fly since he's such a big, heavy character. But let's see. I don't remember if he. Yeah, he doesn't have like Like, the stop motion, I feel like should do a little bit more, but it doesn't. So, anyway, that's Hulkbuster Iron Man. I showed you where you can unlock him up at the top of Stark Tower. Iron Fist. I really enjoy Iron Fist. He has the power Chi, or Chai, where he does that. And then whenever you fight, he has fire coming out of his fists. He is an acrobat, and you unlock him as part of Blade's missions. So you have to race Blade, and then you do something else for Blade. You fight some frost giants on the rooftop, and that gives you Iron Fist. So he is an acrobat of sorts. I definitely wish I used him a little bit more than I did, but I got him kind of later in the game when I was just trying to like find everybody and battle through it. Here's a Hydra agent. He shoots a gun. He's filler. Goodbye. Howard the Duck. I remember watching his movie when I was a kid. So yeah, I didn't even realize he was a Marvel character because he didn't look like this in the movie. I feel like that was an R-rated movie too. He's got a rocket launcher. You get him with Electro during the Daily Bugle hub mission. There is an achievement for unlocking him, and he quacks. So, I don't really know why he's in this game. I think he's in it just kind of as a joke, but it is what it is. Herbie, Fantastic Four's bot. This is pretty much the first time I've used him. He's got this electric power. He doesn't really do all that much. He just double jumps, so he doesn't fly anymore, but he naturally hovers. And the B or circle button do nothing at all. So there he is. Could have lived without him being a playable character, but c'est la vie. Heimdall, obviously, made popular in the Thor movie. Obviously a main character. In the Thor comics, he's kind of like the guardian of the Bifrost Bridge. He gives you some missions in the game, and that's how you unlock him. And he looks pretty cool. I didn't use him much, kind of for the same reason I didn't use Gamora very much. Because he's just a warrior. He doesn't do anything fancy. But he does look cool. Havoc is obviously the brother of Scott Summers, a.k.a. Cyclops. He's got this electric power that he shoots out of his chest, which is pretty awesome. They've done a lot with him lately. He's the leader of the Uncanny Avengers. Captain America wanted him to be the leader just because, he kind of was coming over from the X-Men. I want to say he was also a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy at one point, too. I definitely remember seeing him in space. So, there's Havoc. A lot of people were excited about him, as they should have been. And I can't believe I have to end with Gwen Stacy. Yeah, Gwen Stacy. Obviously, this is one of those characters they put in because of the movies. The Amazing Spider-Man. She was obviously, in The Amazing Spider-Man. I am so blanking on who played her. She's kind of got this... she's a pretty hot chick. She was in Sleeping Dogs too. Yeah, I'm Googling it. I don't care. I can't believe I don't know off the top of my head. Emma Stone. Yeah. So, got Emma Stone in the game. I'm not ending with Gwen Stacy though. I mean, she doesn't really do anything but sit there and look blonde. I'm going to end with Deadpool. At least looking at Deadpool. Thank you all for watching. I guess just naturally this video is going to be 50 minutes one way or another, so because I did it again, but this time I recorded my voice, which is good. That ends part 2 of the series. As you can see, it makes sense to do it in a 4-part series because it is going to be long, and I think the videos are easier to watch this way. Again, I really just appreciate everybody. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thank you for all the subscriptions. Thank you for liking this. Thank you for all your support. You really have made this entire experience fun. We will catch you later. Peace.